Hello friends, welcome to another video. Today I'm opening and reviewing the Indigo Paper's handmade watercolor Wiropad. This one is 6 by 9 inches, so it's the smallest size that they offer. It's 24 sheets and it's 100% cotton rag, which is a must for me. 140 pound or 300 GSM cold press texture. It is a handmade paper, so I'm interested in seeing what that texture is going to be like. I can tell even before opening it that it has these beautiful deckled edges, which is so wonderful and unique about handmade papers. I purchased this from Blick's website. It was about $30, $30.26 to be exact. So for a watercolor pad, it's a little more expensive. It's more than $1 a sheet. But if you're looking for a watercolor pad that's a great investment, that's going to be high quality, make sure it's cotton. And it will cost a little more, but well worth it, trust me. So on the website, there are a number of different reviews. All of them are either 5 stars or 4 stars. And everyone says they love how thick the pages are. They love the hard cover. They love that it's 100% cotton. A number of reviewers noted that the two sides of the papers are different textures, so that's something we'll check out when we open it up. So let's go ahead and unwrap it and see what we've got. Ooh, I like that embossing on the back. That's pretty cool. So yeah, the cover is hard cover, very nice quality. I love the fact that it's spiral bound. Honestly, I struggle so much when I'm working in cheaply made watercolor journals with the pages popping open. You have to bring clips with you or rubber bands or something to help keep them open. But this is nice. In fact, you could even bend it back behind like that so you can work flat. And you can see that there's a little protector sheet, a little vellum sheet in front of each page. Wow, that is super nice. So that's going to help your artwork stay protected. That is something I've actually never seen in a watercolor journal before. That's really neat. Inside the cover it says, each paper is handcrafted to perfection using 100% cotton rags. They offer exceptional strength to withstand repeated wetting, reworking, erasing, color lifting, scrubbing, scraping, taping, and masking. All things I do. So I'm excited to try this. This looks awesome. So I'm going to start out using the very first page right here. Also, interestingly enough, it looks like there's a little bit of a fold in the paper right here, so you can easily remove the sheet. I'm not sure if it's perforated. I think it is perforated, but because it's handmade, it's kind of this imperfect perforation. I don't think I would see myself removing these necessarily, but if you wanted to, that's a really nice feature to have, so you're not cutting every individual page out or trying to rip it haphazardly. Hopefully you're not doing that to your watercolor books anyway. But for my first painting, I'm staying within my comfort zone today and painting horses. Love horses. It's probably my favorite subject matter of all time. So I've chosen this beautiful image from Unsplash. Check out Unsplash and Pixabay if you're looking for wonderful free photographs that artists can use for inspiration. I go there all the time because it's not every day that I can just go out of my house and photograph horses. So it's really, really helpful for someone like me who tries to paint every single day. Now the first test for this paper is to see how it withstands tape. When you're using masking tape on especially fragile or handmade paper, it's a good idea to kind of de-stick it a little bit before you apply it to your paper. I just like to apply tape for pretty borders, really no other reason. So I'm using this really super thin 1/4 inch tape and I'm going to apply it all around the edges. And I'm just going to de-stick it a little bit on my shorts here. Hopefully that'll help it lift easier. And I'm going to have to leave a little bit of an edge along the deckled edge there. Something about this handmade paper I'm noticing is that it definitely is a little more wavy. It's kind of got this warp to it. Be interesting to see once we fill these pages, if those flatten out. It's definitely a very different surface from Arches, for example, or Fabriano. Okay, so we've got our tape down. Try to make sure it's nice and flat on the paper. I have a pencil, and today I'm going to be using my Lebenzen brushes. These are my wonderful bamboo handle, also handmade brushes by Tracy Lebenzen. My favorite are actually the synthetic bristles because I like the springiness of them. I like how stiff they are, but they still hold lots of paint. Have a water jar, kind of essential when you're doing watercolor. Paper towel for blotting, and we start with the sketch. My reference photo and this journal were the same aspect ratio of 6 by 9, so I was able to use the negative space around the horses' heads to measure distances between shapes. This arrowhead shape, for example, between the horses' heads is roughly 2/3 of the way across the paper, and once I have that shape in, I can draw the horse on the right and then block in the other two. The indigo paper held up really well to my erasing, and it also seemed to erase cleanly, which for some more delicate papers, they don't allow for that. So if you decide to use a journal like this for urban sketching or plein air painting, where drawing assistance like tracing and transferring are not possible, this book is going to hold up really well with lots of erasing and adjusting. Now for the painting, I always like to see how a new paper is going to handle wet and wet, since this is a technique I use all the time. It was interesting to see how the handmade texture absorbs a blue flat wash for the sky. There are lots of tiny bits of lint in the paper. I noticed a similar effect with my Shizen handmade paper journal, which is also made from recycled cotton rag. You can check out my video about that here. The paper is so soft, absorbent, and robust. The wet and wet technique works beautifully with lovely soft dispersion of paint, and the colors remain vibrant on the paper. I was able to use all of my usual watercolor techniques to do this painting. Now, since the paper is a cold press surface, I noticed my brush would sometimes catch on the surface quite a bit, which can be great for dry brushing techniques, and I imagine would create some interesting effects for things like landscapes with rocks and foliage. I did need to use a watery consistency of paint to get the brush to glide across the paper when using the wet on dry technique, but that's just normal for cold pressed paper. By the way, the fully narrated real-time version of this horse painting tutorial is available through my Watercolor Mastery membership, along with over 150 fun painting projects. If you want to learn more about all the little details and techniques that went into this complete painting, be sure to check that out on my online school. I'll leave a link in the description below. They are so cute. Well, super. I think we did it. There's our finished painting. Let's set this aside and we'll remove the tape and see how our indigo paper held up with the tape. All right, looks good. Just go slowly and it shouldn't rip. And you have nice, crisp borders. I love it. This turned out so fun. Overall, my impressions of this journal are absolutely positive. I can't wait to paint some more things in it. I haven't exactly checked out to see what the other reviewers were saying about the different textures of the paper. It does look like some of the paper has a little bit more, I don't know how you would describe it, like a cross-hatched texture. So not all of them are like that. Or maybe it's the backside that's a different texture. I'll just have to explore and paint some more in here to really discover more about this journal. But overall, my initial impression is absolutely yes. Worth the money. Check it out for yourself. I hope you guys will leave me a comment below if you liked this video. If you want to see more reviews about watercolor supplies, let me know. Check out these other videos reviewing different watercolor journals, and I'll see you over there.